Alright, so we're going to go through the supply chain management final. Go ahead and print this out or have access to it so you can take your notes. We're just going to go through it very quickly. This is an independent study course, so part of your final will be to include some things that you learned on your own studies during this course. It is not a particularly long final because I'm giving you room on one of the questions to kind of go into depth about what you did with your independent component of your research, right? Okay, so number one, define supply chain. What I'm looking for here is something to this effect. It is the interconnected network that facilitates the transfer of resources in the marketplace. Right? It is an interconnected network that facilitates the transfer of resources in the marketplace. Right? Okay. I'm sure there's several definitions of it, but that's basically what I'm wanting. You don't have to have that word for word, but something to that effect. This network that facilitates the transfer of resources in the marketplace. List the 5 stages in a supply network. All right, so you've got your supplier. That's the people that produce the raw materials. You've got your manufacturer. That's the person that creates the product, right, from the raw materials. You've got your distributor. That's the person that makes sure that the products get to the retailers, which is the 4th one. Right? And the retailers are the ones that are selling it to individual consumers, and then 5 is consumer, right? The customer. So you've got the supplier, the manufacturer, the distributor, the retailer, and the customer, right? Define supply chain management. So in the first one we talked about what is the supply chain itself, right? Question number 3, I want to know what is supply chain management then, right? And so I would define it this way. It's the wise management of the transfer of goods and payment between different stages of the supply chain to increase overall profitability. The wise management of the transfer of goods and payment between different stages of the supply chain to increase overall profitability. Right? Okay. Number 4, list and describe the 5 main processes associated with supply chain management. I will give them to you so you know what it is, but you're going to have to go back in and watch the videos to get your descriptions and everything. But we have planning and strategy, sourcing, the transformation process, delivery, and customer service / excess stock. So I went through that entire lesson there, so I want you to go back in. You've got the 5, right? So it's planning and strategy, sourcing, transformation process, delivery, and then dealing with customer service / excess stock. All right, so go back in and look at that lesson and have a good description for each of those. Number 5, when selecting a supplier for your raw materials, what are some other factors other than price? Right? So, if somebody's, supplying you with raw materials, you don't want to look at just the price, because, they may have a really good price, but it could be because the quality is poor, right? So you want to look at what is the quality level. Does it take them a long time to deliver it? If it takes them a month to get it to you, and some other company that costs a little more can get it to you in 3 or 4 days, then maybe it's worth it to you to go with the cheaper, with a more expensive company rather that has the better delivery time. So the quality, the delivery time, also customer service. What happens if they ship you something that's bad? Do they replace it quickly, or do they give you a hard time and make you eat the cost if something was bad, right? So those are other important factors. Number 6, what does coordination mean in respect to supply chain management, right? So coordination, basically what I'm wanting here is that's the interplay between each of the different components of the supply chain, right? And so coordination means that each component of the supply chain works together for maximum efficiency, right? Number 7, list and describe 2 of the ways that technology is influencing supply chains today. So I gave you an entire lesson. I gave you about 5 things that are technology related, right? So go back in there, watch that, and list and describe 2 of them. Number 8, why is it important for supply chain managers to ensure that all departments are aware of the company's common set of goals? Basically what I mean by that is if different departments, if there's not a common set of goals throughout the company, then the goals for the warehouse department and the goals for the manufacturing department, if they're not established from above, like a company-wide goal, they may be different. The manufacturing people, they may be just producing as many as they possibly can, whereas the warehouse people, they don't have that same goal because they may not have anywhere to put them all if you produce that many, right? And so you need to have a common set of goals so that each department is able to work together towards a set goal. And so what I'm really after in this question is that if each individual department sets its own goals, they're not going to line up between different departments, right? So the goals, there can be some individual goals, but there has to be an overarching company set of goals that define what they're looking for out of the supply chain, so that each individual department can set their own goals to match what the company is wanting, right? And make sure that their processes are in line to match what the administration is asking for. All right, number 9. What are some ways that companies can maximize their efficiency with shipping? That's what I want you to do on your own. You did an entire paper on shipping, and so I want you to take some of that research and give me some ideas for how companies can maximize their efficiency, right? Number 10, list and describe. Now this is obviously other than the shipping one that I just gave you. List and describe 3 important principles that you learned during your independent research for this course, right? So this is an independent study class. Half of the class is you taking the seeds of some of the ideas that I gave you in the lectures and then going on and doing your own research. So in question number 10, I want you to talk to me about what you learned. What were some things that you discovered in your own research that you think are important and relevant and interesting, right? Okay, so give me 3 of those. And as long as you do all of that, you should be fine. It's a short final, but that's because, with like question 10 there, I mean, that could be a substantial answer, right? That may take you a while to type all of that in. So it's a shorter final, but some of the questions will be longer than what you're getting on some of the other finals, okay?